I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching a show where I have been wanting to see this man the entire 20 episodes previously, and then we got to see him for a little bit, only so that the show can show us that he doesn't age, but not tell us it. So now I don't know if I'm crazy or not, and I don't know how he would do so.
Mm-hmm. And that show also gave us some cryptic warnings. Get out of here. Get out of this country.
Yep.
Something bad is about to happen.
But we have a sense of resolve and confidence going forward because we did not kill our mom the second time.
And our shoulders look really broad.
Yep. Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Are we all okay?
Good question.
Okay. Whew.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe he's alive. The grieving.
Ooh.
Like, they didn't care as much about Greed because he wasn't hanging out with them this whole time. Him in the doorway.
What?
Stop! Stop with the confirmation or fake out. How dare you? Father has entrusted Roy to Bradley.
That wasn't like the beginning of the opening that where
Nope.
you show Hohenheim. Does he have like two different forms? Can he like de-age and age? Like can he like absorb something to be able to leave where he was and then he's like younger, like gives off that younger appearance?
It might just have something to do with the fact of like how we see him re-intake Greed.
Yeah.
And when he does that, he
might.
looks older. So it could be that once he takes something back within his body.
What?
Also, how creepy is that? Like, you're a father that abandoned your children and you have all of these other things call you father as well.
Yeah.
Oh, his
A
body.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
Jesus.
That's terrifying.
Interesting.
What a cute idea.
But like, I'm worried that takes away life from Al, you know? Like, does that mean Ed's life is doubled
like a
and
shortened
Al's?
life?
Yeah.
How could it be right under his nose and he not know about it?
Oh my god, I didn't expect this to happen so soon.
Clean up loose ends.
Inscrutable.
Look at his smile.
Yeah.
Can he not return to work with his injuries? Is he retiring? He has some good people, but losing one of them sucks.
Yeah. The coroner did help.
Old
Hell
war
yeah.
buddies. Partners,
Partners
in
in
crime.
crime.
I bet they let a lot of Ishvalan get away.
Damn.
He was looking at the spine.
Was he trying to read up about it in hopes that he could help fix it, or to see how serious it was?
Alkahestry. Good question.
I mean, don't think that's gonna work.
About that guy,
Yeah.
about Dr. Marco. You want to tell him so bad.
Lots of beautiful
Lots
women.
of beautiful women, like promised. I'm not excited. What is this? I don't like how open the streets are right now. And make it back.
Okay.
That is not the news I expected.
Yeah, me
from
either.
that letter.
Is Winry here?
Doesn't look like it. So you're thinking they might save you?
Jesus, that's a risk.
I guess Scar does go against Bradley's plans. I agree
Probably.
with that. We are. A giant net.
Yes! We have a team. Thank you, Ling. Yeah.
Even if they have different motives. The strength of the resolve is the same.
I love them. They're inverse color palettes. Oh no.
Oh no. See, he was out the window, but really he goes back in the room when they're not there. I might need you. He's being realistic. Your soul. Nope. He's not gonna be there. Oh.
It's been a long time. Damn.
Literal dead end. But he wants to be of use. Cutting you loose for now. So soft. Are we watching some Mei Chang fan fiction right now?
Or we're trying to create a trap for Scar.
Oh, we're hanging out in public. Yeah,
This
okay.
is my name. This is what I'm capable of. Oh my god.
Your neighborhood state alchemist.
Like, I'm sure all these people will be fine. They won't get, like, caught up in it.
He's more powerful than that priest in, like, the 3rd episode.
Cool shot.
Maybe. Who's walking up to us?
I know.
Okay, this is tense. What the? Oh!
Let's go!
My
Okay.
God. Little fishing. Like that would happen.
What's happening in the intro is going to happen a lot sooner than I thought it was.
They knew that you'd be in on fun little secret plans, Roy. It's starting!
Oh,
he literally
shit.
said, it's starting. The opening is starting. We have Scar and Ed, and we're about to have Ling and Lanfan against Bradley. He's having too much fun. Screw with that guy more. I don't like him.
A performer.
That's why Bradley is getting involved. He's out. It's starting. But Bradley said leave Mustang to him.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh!
Which one? Ooh.
50-50. tattoo. Ling? Oh. On the inside, huh?
How many people do you have inside you?
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I'll have to eliminate it. That's how they get to fighting Bradley. Oh my god, is that the ending? Is there an after credit? I don't know. That was such an epic ending. Lanfon's fine. I believe it.
Okay, that was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Season 1, Episode 21. I don't know what anything means anymore. Specifically in regards to the before OP, father has left him to me, and then we see Hohenheim.
Mm-hmm. And Hohenheim's turning in a way that evokes how we view him in the first OP, which is kind of like looking over the shoulder, the camera's sweeping up, you know?
Because the him is Roy Mustang, correct?
Yes, we can make use of him, Roy Mustang.
Use him. You don't mean him in the doorway? Father has left him to me, and then we get to see Hohenheim. That would imply that that's father, but I don't know.
Yeah. And there's an expression on Hohenheim's face that is, again, as the expression that we saw for the very end of the episode before Father Before the Grave, and then again in Father Before the Grave, is a very complex expression that seems filled with emotion, regret, troubling expression, I guess you could even say. Not a kind of what you'd imagine, which is someone who feels like their hopes and dreams are right in their grasp kind of expression.
Mm-hmm.
I think that before we leave that scene and conversation between the rest of the homunculi, I think that what is something to bring up is Envy's reaction here. Obviously, Gluttony's reaction is also very emotional.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to bring up the fact that both Envy and Gluttony have such extremely emotional reactions to Lust being dead that Envy is even like, screw saving Roy Mustang as a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I want revenge. Like, it's not too late to kill him. Who cares if you could make use of him? Screw that. You know, like, and so he says, use him. You don't mean him. Don't worry about, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, Envy's anger, I feel like, comes from a place that brings me to Lust talking to Roy and Havoc, bringing up the idea of, like, how similar they might actually be in terms of, like, we can still feel things. We can still have love for our parents.
Is there any way that, like, everything that's King Bradley and below is going to be happening with everybody Roy Mustang and below, like, including, you know, Ed and Al, everybody, Ryza, while Hohenheim is doing something with, like fighting father? Or do you think Hohenheim is father? You know what I mean?
Or is father Hohenheim's father and we're doing a grandfather situation?
Yeah.
Because then the similar family appearance could come into play.
That's true.
Father doesn't have to necessarily mean my father. It could be my father's father. You know, there's still father there, grandfather.
God, I don't know.
Maybe. That'd be
I thought
cool.
that
we could do that.
The take on, like, growing for Al or sleeping for Al was really interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen it portrayed that way. Yeah.
I've only ever seen something like that, like I'm eating for two.
Yeah.
Kind of scenario, like you're a pregnant woman.
That's fascinating, though. It almost gives you more hope that you can, like, separate it without an issue again, if it is being actively used, you know?
I like the idea
and taken care of.
That Ed is extremely still, almost like he has a thread, or still is extremely connected to Al, even though, you know, Al is at the doorway, is at the truth, you know, he could still get the body back because they literally put their blood together, their DNA mixed together. They were both used as pieces to bring back and transmute what wasn't actually their mom.
I'm heartbroken about Havoc, of course, but I'm just happy he's alive. That was a big question coming into this. I felt like he was, but I don't know if it's something we can fix. We see Roy reading about it. We try to reach out to Dr. Marco, and we get that loose end tied up.
We knew how that was gonna
yeah.
go. As soon as Dr. Marco's name was brought up, we were like, ooh, that's probably not gonna work out the way that we would hope. Like, obviously, we'd love for Havoc to be able to not retire with the fact that Roy seemingly has picked the best men. Like, the people that are under Roy back him 100%. They understand how he thinks. They want to support him, even if he's a fool. As Ryza said, we need like one fool like him. And I really want to talk about, for Havoc, we get one of the members of their team leaving, saying like retirement doesn't suit him, before he talks to Roy and before that kind of heartfelt conversation where he's like gripping Roy's collar. That conversation between Havoc and Roy, there was a similar emotional energy of just contradictory ways that you speak when you want to be asking for help, but you also don't want to hurt the person you're talking to, that evoke Gracia talking to Ed and Al and then crying behind a closed doorway, or Ross saying what she does and then crying on the, traveling away from Ed.
Yeah.
It evokes that, but it's not that at the same time, because Roy understands what Havoc is actually saying and how Havoc actually feels. And even if Roy didn't understand how Havoc actually felt, Roy feels that way. Like, he agrees with what it is that Havoc truly wants on the inside, which is, I want to continue to be able to fight alongside you and have your back. Yeah. I want to, and he says, I'll be waiting for you at the top. And that's what Havoc wishes for. Retirement doesn't suit him. He's not ready for that.
I think the show consistently is very good with how they portray like the humanity of people and their emotions, like with Izumi last episode and how that went down, but also actually showing Havoc and Roy in the hospital after this episode. Like, shit happened, and even though that Roy is, by the end of this episode, back wearing his uniform, we know that he's injured. Like, we're not in a...
He left the hospital before he really should have.
Yeah,
which we're aware of.
I am so scared and worried, because although that we have somewhat of a plan and Ling is on our side, like I just said, Roy is injured. He's doing his best acting course right now, but holy shit, like he's
really good at acting on the phone. We've already seen him do that.
What's about to play out in front of us, though? Like, at least to our knowledge, we don't know where Envy is, right? Mm-hmm. But still, we have Gluttony and King Bradley in front of us, and Scar. Are we gonna do like Ed and Al versus King Bradley, who's versing Scar, and Ling's also versing the homunculi?
I don't actually know. So, like, okay, I'm not gonna obviously ask to bring up the OP, and I try to, when it happens, I try to just be watching, but not, like, scrutinizing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we can piece together, because it's hard to, like, not take in some information, what some of the matchups might be. But when I think about what's currently happening on the battlefield, obviously Ed is primarily against Scar. Al put up the wall to be able to separate everyone. Roy and Ryza are somewhere else, and then Bradley's running toward and about to attack Lan Fan and Ling, which are currently focusing in on Gluttony. Those are the current players that we know where they are and what they're doing. And then there's a few that we know exist that we have no clue where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly that's Mei Chang that I would come up with. That I'm like, where's Mei Chang?
Yeah.
What is... Because we know she does something that we haven't seen before in the opening. Like, we know she's doing something.
But we also saw Mei Chang kind of as like a cameo.
In Resemble?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was time enough for her to get back here.
True.
And, like, another reason why I bring up her character is because we don't actually know how connected to Ling she is.
Yeah.
Like, are they both a child of the Emperor? Like, do they know each other? Are they here for somewhat similar...
I'm like, holy shit, what can Ling's stand up to. Like, as you said with the OP, there's definitely shots of him fighting against Bradley. And
we don't see him really fighting against Gluttony, I don't think, in the OP.
But
like I said, we're not scrutinizing
if you're
it.
strong enough to, like, be capable to at least take your own, or take, against Bradley, that's insane.
I do want to talk about that. So, it seems like in the OP, from the little shot we get, that it evoked to me, like, it didn't feel, like, scary. Like, during the OP, I don't get, like, worried about Ling during that, little flash of Lanfan and him fighting Bradley. But Bradley, as he's jumping up to Ling at the very end of this episode, gives the aura that he believes that he will easily be able to eliminate this threat. Like, oh, that ability you have there to be able to, like, tell what we are, see that there are a bunch of people inside of Gluttony, I'll have to take care of this. I feel like he views at least Lanfan, maybe both of them, as easy bugs to squash and or, like, worth it to squash. It could be that he just views, like, this is something I need to take out now.
Yeah.
And not that he views them as weak per se, but just that important to take out. Or he views them as, oh, this will be an easy little stepping stone that I need to take care of. Like, I'm stronger than them. And so I think that another reason to talk about Bradley's choice here to get involved with Ling and Lanfan, like, Gluttony is Gluttony's there too. If you're Bradley, and you would think Bradley's goal, because the reason he's here is because of Scar and Ed fighting, he's still stopping here even though Gluttony's here to join in a fight against Lanfan and Ling.
Well,
why wouldn't he just leave these two?
Because of their ability to sense them. Yeah.
So that means he doesn't trust Gluttony to be able to take care of these two.
It's really cool, like, to see that there's already something even besides just, like, physical capabilities that set Ling aside. Like, they're capable of spotting out and seemingly tracking, now that they've, like, seen it and confirmed what Gluttony is, that wherever he goes, they'd be able to follow him. Mm-hmm. And that is something that Bradley is very not comfortable with, and was like, we need to fucking nip this in the bud right now.
Yeah, but it's obviously, like, I didn't expect him and Gluttony to fight together.
Yeah.
And it could be said that he doesn't view Gluttony as strong enough to deal with this by himself, or he views this is of such a huge threat that it doesn't matter if Gluttony could take care of it and by himself. We have to ensure that the threat is taken care of. Something else.
That's a pesky ability.
I'll have to eliminate it. And then he goes right up. Honestly, getting Ling's reaction to Lanfan's mask getting shattered.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, feeds me a little bit in the romance brain. As you should have expected it. Because Lanfan has such, like, an admiration for Ling. Such, like, he's an amazing person. Like, don't you know who you're talking to kind of energy. Like, she has such a admiration for him, a respect for him. She views him so highly. And to see him have such an emotional reaction to the possibility that she's getting threatened, even though she's in this position of being a guard to him. I don't know, like, if there's any romance there, it's working.
Yeah?
It could work. It's obviously not really started, but, like,
I don't know what show you're watching.
They could come off of that.
I don't know.
And it would be a great stepping stone. I think that would be a great thing to work with, and if we have that in the next episode, I don't
want romance. Romance makes it so Havoc loses his ability to walk. Do you want him to not walk anymore?
Okay,
Do you want Ling to not walk anymore?
He just made the wrong choice in romantic interest. Like, wrong female lead choice for
Let's get off of that. Coroner came back.
Life.
We have that loose end tied up too. The coroner coming back to confirm.
Oh, yeah, we did, I think, speculate at one point, like, what if the coroner, like, could he have been in on it? Could he have been able to tell? There's
such, like, a focus on Roy's past, but also his connections and what he is to people, and the idea of, like, even Havoc claiming that Roy's soft, but Ryza being able to be like, well, there could be one of us like that. Roy, like, has this empathy as somebody that earns respect from people, and that's what's needed to have a great leader.
Roy had to have some past with this coroner where he felt that there was at least a 90% chance, or I don't know, maybe he was even risking a 50-50% chance that the coroner would hide the secret about Ross for him. That this coroner would be able to tell. Like, he obviously, I feel like...
Well, we don't even have to speculate, like, about the coroner. Like, he says himself, we're partners in crime. You would burn them, I would do the autopsies. Ishval was just one giant test site.
Right, but so Roy had to have some confidence that the coroner wasn't going to out him.
Yeah, or that the coroner was going to be this specific person, are you saying? Yeah, gotcha.
That he knew that this guy, because of either the horrible atrocities they did together, that they are now kind of locked in this, you have my back, I have yours, kind of secrecy of like, we've seen and done things together, that he's gonna have my back and he's gonna know that I'm doing something for some good reason and he's not gonna tell on me. Or it could even be like a blackmail situation.
I don't think so.
No, I'm just like, this is a fun theory. Like, imagine the coroner doesn't want his wife and family to know the awful atrocities he did, and Roy's the only person that knows exactly what he did, so he's like, I gotta make sure that Roy doesn't have any reaon to spill the beans.
Why? Why would that even be a theory? We already know the relationship. It doesn't make any sense. Ed has done so many reckless things this episode that make me so worried for his safety. Granted, they are all working to every ounce that he's expecting them and needing them to, but he is getting injured, as we saw. He is taking 50-50 gambles on what approach Scar is going to use, and again, it's working, but holy shit, man. Like, you are really... putting your, like, what was the line of dialogue that was said by Roy to Fullmetal right before he left the room? Like, whatever the case, talking about confronting them, Fullmetal, watch yourself. And it's like, okay, heard. I'm gonna go make myself known and famous around the city just to get Scar out here, just to get the homunculi out here. Like, holy shit. And, like, what then? Al was like, what do we do then? And then Ling comes out of the curtain to offer up the bill to be paid. But damn.
And I feel like getting Hohenheim, the shot of him, and the idea that he's possibly father. Obviously, we know that the alchemists that have opened the door and made it back are the ones that we're theorizing are sacrifices or could be sacrifices. And then I feel like it really opens up questions of, do they know if Hohenheim is father or there is some connection there, then is the identity of Ed and Al important for more than just the fact that they have been opened the door and made it back? You know, is there more reason why we especially wouldn't want Scar fighting Ed, you know, and that's why Bradley and the homunculus would definitely get involved here. Like, what if Scar was just fighting some other state alchemist? That's not as good of a lure and a trap, obviously. Yeah, but we know it has to be someone that was a sacrifice to be used as bait. But I'm like,
it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up, especially after last episode with Hohenheim. Like, I'm like, that there's no way. I don't know.
It's more, I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, because if Hohenheim is the father, then you would think that there'd be even more emphasis on do not let Ed and Al, even if they could be sacrifices, don't let them get hurt. But are you trying
to unlock their full potential type beat? Yeah, I don't know.
But I feel like Roy isn't your kid, but still, if Roy was fighting Scar here, the homunculus would probably get involved because he's a precious sacrifice that Bradley decided that.
Maybe.
Oh, but Bradley was told that he should take care of him.
Yeah, I think Fullmetal is bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bigger fish. It's because he's the actual son. Maybe. But anyway, I would say the highlight of this episode is Ling saying, "It's starting."
Yep. I know it really feels like we're about to watch like 4 episodes of shit, and I'm scared.
We're about to, like, the opening was a condensed edit of the episodes we're about to watch. Oh my god, basically.
For real. All right, you good?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to see you next time.